I couldn't think of anyone better to cook us a lovely meal on a beautiful farm such as Goed Gedacht. So what are we going to be doing?
Well, you know, there's a veg garden, I believe, here. So first thing we need to do is grab the basket and go see what this beautiful farm has got in store for us.
The organic vegetable gardens provide fresh food for the preschool and after-school projects, as well as training in the vegetable garden. Chef Frank and Ewan found an abundance of fresh herbs. For this decadent herby fillet sandwich, they picked basil, fennel, chilli and parsley. When trying this recipe at home, you can add any fresh herbs that are on hand.
So all jokes aside, I'm seriously hungry.
Me too. Well, look here, we've got a nice piece of fillet from the center.
Yes.
Here we've got a beautiful fire. What I want to do is make a marinade from the stuff that we picked.
Okay, you must tell me what you need and I will hand it.
Okay, I need everything, so let's start from the beginning. This is the little basil.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is we're going to just pull the basil, the blossoms out of the basil.
Nice.
Then some leaves, put that on the board.
Bit of a combination of blossoms and leaves. Oh, nice.
That we had a little bit of fennel. Not too much. Fennel is very, very fragrant, so you don't want to put too much. Bit of that. Rosemary, beautiful rosemary. I'm just going to pull a little bit of rosemary here. Not too much also. Very, very fragrant. Okay, some chili. And then for now, and a bit of parsley, I think we had, and some oregano. Parsley, I'm going to use the whole thing.
I must be honest, I've never seen you mix so many herbs or different kind of herbs together.
But it's very rare. I mean, you know, it's not every day that you have a garden with everything in it.
Yeah.
So ideally, everybody should have that in their back garden at home. I'm going to start chopping this.
It's like a machine.
Yeah, you really need to chop it right down. Anchovies.
Right.
Put a little bit of anchovies in there. So can you see I'm chopping?
Definitely.
I'm chopping that anchovy right
very fine
into the herbs.
Yeah.
Salt, beautiful rock salt. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit of that paste onto that fillet with extra salt.
Okay.
And then some olive oil, and I'm going to ask you to braai that fillet for us.
Cool.
Ewan, that's your job.
My job, I'll braai.
Brown the meat all round over heaped up coals. Turn it with tongs and then move it over to the cooler side of the braai.
Next step, what are we doing?
Next step is here.
Oh, some bread dough.
The girls have made us the beautiful bread dough, farm bread dough. We're going to put a bit of flour on here. Why don't we put some of those olives in there?
Nice, with my little olive bread. That sounds lovely.
You can buy bread dough at your local Pick n Pay bakery, and Goed Gedacht olives are exclusive to Pick n Pay.
So basically, I'm cutting like the flesh of the olives.
All right, just like that. So how many olives do you actually need?
No, virtually, I mean, for the two breads, we're doing, 4 or 5.
All right.
And I'm cutting the olives, and I'm going to mix the olives into the dough.
All right.
And then, okay, I'm going to cut this in half, and then you can have half, and you can have half.
You're so kind. Thank you very much. So what do I do? Just kind of
flatten it first with your hands on the board.
Yeah.
But also, dough is funny. You need to let it rest for a while. So just what we're going to do is we're going to put it down here and let it rest.
Okay.
And then go take a look at our meat.
Lovely.
While the meat is on the grid, leave the bread dough for about 15 minutes in a warm spot until it almost doubles in size. Then grill it on the grid over medium heat coals until it's brown on both sides and cooked through.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Well, I've got a few tomatoes. Stuff that we didn't find in the garden because there's just no way tomatoes would grow right now. We're going to put, not too much, I'm going to put some of that cranberry vinegar also to go on top of that.
Nice. So what kind of taste has that got?
Vinegary, but very fruity as well at the same time. Obviously cranberry.
Yeah, fantastic. I've actually never tasted that.
I'm only going to use some of that onion. I mean, look at this.
Ooh, look at that, eh?
This is the real deal.
Wow.
Then rocket, a bit of fennel, and this is the raw ingredients that will be inside our bread. And then a few slices of radicchio. Remember, I told you radicchio is very bitter.
Yeah.
So you don't want too much.
Okay.
So obviously a mix.
So just a couple of long slices like that.
That's it. And a little bit of that oregano, fresh as well. Mm-hmm. And then a little bit of butter lettuce, just to, to soften the blow of everything.
All right.
And that's the gut of our little sandwich.
Ooh, can't wait.
Back to the meat. I think from now, the meat is ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to return the meat onto that board.
Okay, set up.
And then you're going to let it rest a little bit, and then we're going to slice that and work it with all those herbs, and then put that into the sandwiches with the salad.
Wow.
A handy tip is to calculate the fillet's cooking time at about 15 minutes per 500 grams. To get it perfect like Chef Frank, insert a meat thermometer into the thickest part when about 3/4 of the cooking time has elapsed. And voila!
man, that looks beautiful.
Take this, tuck in.
Right.
There's only one thing to do.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
A little piece of goedgedachte olive peace grove heaven on the Pick n Pay shelves. This is how lives are being changed through responsible retail.
Frank, thanks, dude. That was unbelievable.
Awesome, hey?